Welcome to Paritranaya. So, in the previous class, we discussed about the PYQ of 2025. Okay, polity related PYQ of 2025. So, similarly, we shall resume from the same point. So, let's start with 2024. Okay, 2024. So, yesterday I think we stopped at this question. The previous question we have discussed. Okay, this is of 2025. Okay, so there was a confusion about this question, right? So, all the three options are right here. But whether you got a concrete evidence for whether the first one is right, second one is right, and all those things. So, to say that second one, Nagaland, the state came into existence on the basis of a constitutional amendment act. True or false? True. But generally, when a state is created, so do we require a constitutional amendment? We do not require. So, in case of Nagaland, why a constitutional amendment was required?
Special council. To recognize the Nagas.
To recognize the Nagas. That is 371A. 371A deals with Nagaland. Okay. I did not get time to go through this content, but still there is a slight confusion because when it comes to other states, if you look at the recent examples of Telangana being carved out of Andhra Pradesh, so whether constitutional amendment was required? No. With simple majority, a bill was passed. No doubt, constitutional some changes have taken place in Schedule 1 and all, but we will not call it as a constitutional amendment act. Okay. Here they are speaking about what? Constitutional. So which Constitutional Amendment Act deals with the creation of Nagaland? 13th, right? Okay, 13th. Okay, anyhow, we will not spend much time on this question because it will lead to confusion and it will consume a lot of time. Okay, so we will not focus much on this. Again, if possible, I will go through this content. So, why exactly Nagaland was created through a Constitutional Amendment Act? Okay, that we will go through it. Next, if you look at the question, they are focused on states of what? Northeastern states. Okay, northeastern states. So probably, if at all they ask, then probably they will be focusing on northeastern states itself. So in 2023 or 24, they asked a question on what? Northeastern Council. Okay. So similarly, based on that trend, probably they might have framed a question on what? Northeastern states, but we will not this information driven will not explore more. Okay, will not explore more. There is one more confusion, right, in the previous class. Another point where we had stuck. What was the point yesterday you mentioned? So, without the governors, whether president himself can reserve the bills without governor forwarding it, right? So, there you concluded, what was the conclusion? The statement was false. It means whenever the bill has to be reserved, it has to happen only through governor. It cannot happen directly. President cannot directly do it. Okay, cannot do it. So okay. So those were what few points of conflict. Okay. So next, this is the 2024 question. 24 question. So what does it say? With reference to the Government of India Act 1935, consider the following statements. It provided for the establishment of an All India Federation based on the union of the British Indian provinces and princely states. Next, defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of the federal legislature. Okay, so this question is bit tough. Why it is tough? Because even in Lakshmikant also we have partial answer. Okay, for the second part we don't have complete answer. First, it's very easy because verbatim it is present in the Lakshmikant itself. So whether first statement is right? Yes. It provided for the establishment of an All India Federation based on the union of what? British Indian provinces and princely states. It is correct. But the second point, defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of the federal legislature. Okay. So what do we understand by this second statement? See, we have discussed about diarchy, right? So diarchy was first introduced through which act? 1919 Act. So diarchy was introduced with respect to what? Province. With respect to provinces. So subjects were reserved and transferred. So in case of transferred subjects, who could make laws? Governor with the consent of the legislature. Without the consent of the legislature, governor alone cannot make laws. Even if governor makes laws also, the legislature can challenge the governor. Why you have made such kind of law? So here in case of transferred subject, so governor, whatever the laws he is making, he is responsible to the legislature. Now how the council of ministers are responsible to Lok Sabha, similarly governor is responsible to legislature with respect to which subjects? Transfer subjects. When it comes to reserved subject, he can make law as per his wish. Okay, as per his wish. Similarly, in 1935, diarchy was introduced at the center. Okay, at the provinces, diarchy was removed and diarchy was introduced at the center. Now they are focusing on the diarchy of the center. Okay, diarchy of the center. So defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of the federal legislature. What does it mean? Now this statement, whether as per the previous year answer key, second statement is right or wrong? Yes. Second statement is, it is false. Okay, second statement is false. Why it is false? Because now if you look at the 7th schedule's 3 list, union list, state list, concurrent list. Okay, so defense, where does it fall? Foreign affairs, union list. Here also they have mentioned that they are kept under the control of the federal legislature. Then obviously it should be correct. If you look at the surface, the face value, then it should be correct. Because can you keep defense and foreign affairs as part of the state list? Will you be able to keep, will you keep it in concurrent list? Not even in concurrent list also. Then why this option is wrong? Because in 1935 they introduced diarchy. So diarchy at the center. So at the center also we had what? Reserved subjects and transferred subjects. Okay, transferred subjects. So transferred subject means when Viceroy is making the rules and regulations, okay, laws. So he is responsible to central legislature. Okay, with respect to transferred subjects. With respect to reserved subjects, so Viceroy or Governor General, he is not responsible to the legislature. He can make laws as per his whims and fancies. Okay, so now what they are asking is, defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of the federal legislature. What does it indicate? It means defense and foreign affairs, whether they were part of transferred subject or whether they were part of the reserved subject. They were reserved. They were reserved. Okay, hence this statement is wrong. Okay, hence this statement is wrong. So second statement is wrong. Okay, wrong. So answer is, they were kept under the control of whom? Viceroy. They kept under the control of Viceroy. So this second statement is tricky. In the recent past, in the past 3 to 4 years, they have started framing such questions. So in this context, what I have done is I have updated the notes also. So for 1919, okay, Montagu's also, reforms also, which are the reserved subjects, which are the transfer subjects. So here we are not interested in transfer subjects, we are interested in the list of reserved subjects, because transfer subjects there are so many, we cannot retain the information of all the subjects, but reserved there are very few, so we shall retain that information. Similarly, when it comes to what here also reserved and transferred, we will not focus on transferred, we will focus on reserved. Okay, we will focus on reserved. Probably previous year also while during the discussion we had this discussion. Okay, so what is that? Defense, foreign affairs, one more matter is under the directly control of the what? Governor General or Viceroy. Ecclesiastical affairs. Okay, affairs. So hence the second statement is wrong. Means apart from the traditional Lakshmikant content, now UPS is going beyond it. Again, if you look at it, there is some aspect of curiosity, because in the previous question papers there have been questions on diarchy. Okay, what is diarchy? They have gone to a deeper level, but first time in last 3-4 years they have gone to this level. Okay, this level. So what we have done, we have just updated the content, and every question in the polity cannot be like that. So 1 or 2 questions will come, and if we have content we will answer, otherwise what, we'll skip it. And also if you look at the statement, it's very easy. Defense and foreign affairs, so very easily we will come to a conclusion that it comes under the federal legislature, because it's a union list subject. Okay, union list subject, but here it is wrong. They are focusing on what? Reserved and transferred. Okay, reserved and transferred. So in this context, what you will do? You will revise the entire Government of India Act 1935. Very important. So 3 acts: 1909, 1919, 1935. So can you recall the important provisions of 1935?
3 lists were introduced.
Okay, 3 lists were introduced. Next, residual. Who was given the residual power? Viceroy or Governor General. Okay. Next, diarchy was introduced at the center. Next, diarchy abolished at the provinces. Good. Next, bicameralism was established at the provinces. Right? All the provinces or few provinces? Okay. Which are the provinces? See here, whether they are going to frame a question on these provinces. Definitely they will frame. Okay, which were the provinces where the bicameralism was established as a result of Government of India Act 1935. So they may definitely the last question. So we need to know about those places. Next, federal court was established. Okay, so federal court, so Supreme Court. Federal court. Next, RBI was established. Good. Next,
Joint State Public Service Commission.
yes, UPSC. or Joint Public Service Commission was established? Okay, next. These are the only points. Any other important point?
Women reservation.
Very important. See here, reservation. Again, if they make a statement separate electorate, then as per the verbatim expression from the Lakshmikant, that will also be correct. And if they mention about reservation, that will also be correct, because already we have seen the previous year question paper, and there the term reservation, it has been interpreted by UPSC as a correct choice. Correct choice. Hence, whether it is reservation for women, apart from women, for whom else the reservation provision was extended? Scheduled caste, depressed classes, and labor class. Depressed classes, it's there, right? Depressed classes and labor. Okay, and labor. Okay, so again, that is a very important point. Okay, important point. So in this context, you will revise all of them. So answer is one only. Okay, one only. Okay. So as per the Article 368 of the Constitution of India, the Parliament may amend any provision of the Constitution by way of. Okay, see here, amendment related questions in 2025 also they appeared, and also in 2024 also, but the nature has changed. Okay, the nature has changed. In 2025, in previous discussion, what we saw? What all things can be amended? Okay, what all things can be amended, and what kind of amendment is required? Okay, whether special majority is required or special majority of the Parliament, and also consent of half of the states, those kind of questions were there. So again, 2024 also there were questions related to amendment. So with the help of amendment, can we add something? Yes. Variation? Yes. Repeal? Yes. So it's a very easy question. So answer is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. Now, based on this article number 368, so again you will revise the same, whatever you revised yesterday. So there are 3 types of amendments which happen to the Constitution. Okay, one is through simple majority, another one is through special majority of the Parliament, third one is special majority of the Parliament plus half of the state legislature should give their consent. Okay, should give their consent. So those things you will revise. Okay, those things you will revise. Next, among these 3, which kind of amendment is considered as an amendment under article number 368? Second and third case. Both the cases are called as constitutional amendment under article number 368. The first case, whenever you bring some kind of changes to constitution through simple majority, so whether it is called as constitutional amendment? No, we will not call it as constitutional amendment or constitutional amendment act. Okay, act. In the second and third case, whenever constitutional amendment takes place, then it will have a corresponding number. For example, 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, 86th Constitutional Amendment Act. But when you are introducing changes to the constitution with a simple majority, okay, at that time we do not require, we do not have a special word like first constitutional amendment, second, and so on. Okay, and so on. So you'll go through the topic of what amendment of the constitution once. Okay, once. Next, again, out of curiosity, you'll go whether constitutional amendment can be subjected to judicial review. Yes. Limited or unlimited? See, in the previous question, in the previous year, what we saw, 2025, the pardoning power of president, okay, can it be subjected to judicial review? Yes. Limited or unlimited? Limited. Now it comes to constitutional amendment. So whether it is subjected to judicial review? Yes. Limited or unlimited?
Unlimited.
It is unlimited. When it comes to constitutional power to what amend the constitution, it is unlimited. Okay, it is unlimited. So judicial review is unlimited here. It's not. So why we came across this concept? Because already in 2025 they asked. Now if the same question is extended to this amendment, so whether the judicial review power is limited or unlimited, it is unlimited. Okay. Now judicial review power, who all enjoys? Supreme Court or High Court or both? Both. The power of judicial review has been explicitly conferred on the Supreme Court. True or false? The power of judicial review has been explicitly conferred on the High Court. In the classes also I have mentioned, this is the thing which often confuses us. Okay. The power of judicial review has been explicitly conferred on both the Supreme Court as well as the High Court. But the next another thing, that is the power to review its own judgment. So whether both Supreme Court and High Court enjoy that power? Power to review its own judgment? Yes, both of them they enjoy the power. Supreme Court also enjoys, High Court also enjoys. But the power to review its own judgment has been explicitly conferred on the Supreme Court by the Constitution. But in case of High Court, it has not been explicitly conferred. So these are the very important points which often cause confusion. One is judicial review, another one is reviewing its own judgment. Both of them are different. So reviewing its own judgment, this power comes from the power of what? Court of record. Okay, court of record. So this is a very important point. So please note it. Okay, please note it. So 1, 2 and 3. Next, which of the following statements are correct in respect of a money bill in Parliament? Okay, Parliament. So Article 109 mentions special procedure in respect of money bills. A money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States. The Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill or suggest changes, but cannot reject it. Amendments to a money bill suggested by the Rajya Sabha have to be accepted by the Lok Sabha. Okay, have to be accepted by the Lok Sabha. Okay. Now, if you look at the this question, now generally, whether we focus on article number 109, we will not focus on article number 109. It's not that important article. So during our memorization process also, so we are not focusing on each and every article. But which article we focus in the context of money bill? We focus on 110. Okay, 110. So now here they asked article number 109 mentions special procedure in respect of money bills. Okay, so we are not that sure. Okay, we are not that sure. When it comes to second statement, a money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States. True or false? What is Council of State? Rajya Sabha. What is Lok Sabha called as? House of People. Okay. Can a money bill be introduced in Council of States? No. So a money bill shall not be introduced. So the second statement is correct? Correct. Okay. Next, the Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill or suggest changes, but cannot reject it. Yes or no? True. The Rajya Sabha can say what? Can either approve the bill or suggest changes. Okay, changes, but cannot reject the bill. Okay, cannot reject the bill. So second, third one is also correct. Fourth one, amendments to a money bill suggested by the Rajya Sabha have to be accepted by the Lok Sabha. Not necessary. So we have seen. So Lok Sabha will wait for how many days? 14 days. In case of ordinary bill,
6.
Yes, you are right. 6 months. So it will wait for 14 days. So within that, if it if the suggestions come, so Lok Sabha may either accept it or it may not accept the suggestions. So the bill will be considered as passed after 14 days. Okay, after 14 days. So the fourth statement is wrong. Okay, wrong. So now second and third, they are correct. Now 2 and 3 are part of the second choice and also third choice. So A and D we have eliminated. Now the confusion will prevail. Okay, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. So in the examination hall, we have prepared about 110. We know about money bill. Okay, but we don't know about 109. Okay, 109. So this is a what trick. So every year they have to change the pattern slightly, right? So now it depends upon the aspirant. Now just they asked 109. So next year will you prepare 105, 106, 107, 108, 109? 111, 112, 113, 114, 115? It's practically impossible. Okay, practically impossible. So one approach what we can use is out of curiosity. So whichever, okay. So we already know about what money bill. So this is a close article 109, 110. So article number 109 mentions special procedure in respect of money bills. So probably it may be associated with money bills itself. So this inference we have to draw. Now we know that it is associated with money bill, but this is post examination. When we are appearing for next year in 2020, in 2026, this year or next year, so we need to know what is the logic that we are expected to apply. So what we'll do, we'll take a generic stand. So 109, yes. So if it is close to it, then what we shall assume? We shall assume that it to be right. Now see, for example, now 352, 356, 360 we have prepared in the context of what? Emergency. 352 deals with national emergency. 356 deals with President's rule of state emergency. 360 deals with financial emergency. Now, have you prepared 353, 354, 355? 355 in some context it has appeared. But 353 and 354 we are not prepared. In the examination next year, if he makes a statement, article number 353, okay, it discusses about how the emergency provision has to be introduced into in the parliament. Okay, if it speaks something about that, then what will be your conclusion? The statement to be true. Even though you are not aware of what 353, you will come to a conclusion that that statement is true. And sometimes even if it goes wrong also, you need not worry, because you are not expected to mark all the 15 questions correctly. There are few questions even in polity which will go wrong, but you are expected to take that risk. But if you want to entirely change the strategy itself, will it be practically possible to retain the information of each and every article? It's not possible. Okay, it's not possible. So again, the upcoming year, we cannot anticipate what kind of questions can come. So we'll take a stand and we'll assume the closest article, whichever they have mentioned, that statement will be right. Okay, will be right, and we'll draw the inference and we'll proceed. Okay, we'll proceed. So here in this case, answer is 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now similarly, which are the other important articles that we generally focus? Yes. 112, 110. Okay, next. In the context of these bills, next. 117 in the context of finance bill. Next. Some 148 deals with 48. Okay, it deals with CAG. So some of the bodies are important bodies. So 280 deals with Finance Commission. Okay, so some important articles that we retain, we'll only stick to them. And when it comes to fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and DPSP, we are already aware that we need to be aware of what? All the article numbers. Okay, all the article numbers. This was the question of what? Confusion. In a very tricky question actually, in fact. Why it is tricky? Because it's not mentioned in the book. The standard book which we refer, that is Lakshmikant, is not present there. So the Northeastern Council was established by the Northeastern Council Act 1971. Okay, 1971. Subsequent to the amendment of NEC Act in 2002, the council comprises which of the following members? Okay, which of the following members? So why this question will cause confusion? Because in our notes or in Lakshmikant, they are mentioned about what? Zonal councils. Okay, zonal councils. Now how many zonal councils are there?
5.
So there are 4 zonal councils, right? 4 or 6?
5.
5?
4.
No, you ignore this Northeastern because it is separate. It has been established under Northeastern Council Act. So these zonal councils are established under which act? States Reorganization Act. So as per the States Reorganization Act, how many zonal councils have been created? Yes, 5?
5.
Okay. Now in that zonal council, they have mentioned about the members. Who are the members of zonal council? By default, who will be the chairman of the zonal councils? Home Minister. Apart from Home Minister, who are the other members?
CM.
Yes, CM. Next.
Secretary.
Okay. Now if you, yes, administrator. Okay. Now important entities, Home Minister. Okay, Home Minister. Now see in that in our notes on Lakshmikant, they are not mentioned about Northeastern Council. Means they are mentioned, but they are not given about the composition. Okay. Now what will be the inference that you are going to draw in the examination? You know about zonal council. So based on the zonal council itself, we will start applying to what? Northeastern Council. So we know that in the zonal council, Home Minister plays an important role. So Home Minister is its chairman by default. So Home Minister of India. So Home Minister should be part of the answer. No, see here, generally based on that logic, if you start applying, Home Minister should be part of the answer. And next, in zonal councils, okay, in zonal councils, whether governor of the constituent state is a member? Zonal councils?
No, sir.
No. So what you will do is, you will eliminate one. See how options they have set. It is not accidentally that they have set the options. They want to trap. If you eliminate one, because you have seen that in the zonal council, governor is not a member. If you eliminate one, then you will arrive at the answer called as 2 and 4. So you will be very much happy in the examination hall. But after coming out, when you check the answer keys, then you will realize that you have made a blunder. Okay. So when you are going through content also, that basic curiosity is required. See, in the Lakshmikant book itself, when you are reading, you have seen the composition of zonal council. But when it comes to Northeastern Council, whatever information they have given, so you have just confined your preparation only to that information. But out of curiosity, if you had explored more, if this is the composition of zonal council, then what is the composition of Northeastern Council? If you had explored, then you would have clearly got to know that who will be the member? Governor will be the member and Home Minister will not be the member. Okay. So here the elimination will be what? 4th one. When you eliminate 4th one, what will be the answer? 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So this is a trap. So means whenever you are going through the content also, that basic curiosity, when you are doing comparison, a basic curiosity is a must. Okay, basic curiosity is a must, because if you, when you are going through content, zonal council, they have been mentioned on the left hand side. On the right page itself we have Northeastern Council. But if we do not have that curiosity, then we'll miss this question. Okay, we'll miss this question. So here what is the answer? 1, 2 and 3. So governor of the constituent state is part of it. Chief minister of the constituent state is part of it. Next 3 members to be nominated by the president of India. So home minister is not part of the Northeastern Council. Okay, by default. 1, 2 and 3. So how many delimitation commissions have been constituted by the government of India till December 2023? Okay. So first we need to know about the delimitation commission. So what is delimitation commission? What does it do? Redrawing the what? Constituencies. Okay. So presently we have 545 Lok Sabha constituencies and all. So that drawing is called as what? Delimitation. Okay, delimitation. So here many times the newspaper article also it will appear. Okay, probably in Lakshmikant. Okay, in static part it will not appear. Okay, it will not appear. So continuously every year it has to be updated. How many such delimitation commissions have been formed? Okay. So how many have been formed till now? 4. Okay. So in which year? First delimitation commission in which year? 1950, 52, next 63, next 1973, after this 2000. Now here sometimes it will confuse. Why it will confuse? Because in the current affairs you will be reading about Jammu and Kashmir Delimitation Commission. Okay, that is separate. Okay, and this is separate. You should not get confused. Okay, should not get confused. So till now there have been 4 delimitation commissions. Okay, which year? Actually they are not important. Okay, not important. So what you can focus is, you can focus on the first delimitation commission 1951 or 52, next recent one. So these 2 you can just ignore. Okay, you can ignore. So sometimes they may what? Give a chronological kind of question. So first delimitation commission was formed. Okay, next SBI became a government bank. In that fashion, if they frame a question, therefore that chronological kind of questions which we are supposed to answer. So we'll focus on 52 and 2002. Okay, 2002. Okay, in this context, what you will do is, okay, delimitation commission, again before also they asked question. So in our notes, so delimitation commission explicitly we have not discussed. Okay, so we need to understand what is delimitation commission. Next, delimitation commission is formed by whom? Whether president or prime minister, who is going to create the delimitation commission? Whether delimitation commission is a constitutional body or non-constitutional body? Okay, constitutional body. Okay, and as per the which article? Yes, 170. Okay, it has been explicitly mentioned as a constitutional body. Okay, see, very important. So if it is constitutional body, it has to be noted. Okay, next, it's not a constitutional body, because if it was a constitutional body, then somewhere we would have discussed during our discussion. Okay, so it's a statutory body as per which act?
Delimitation Commission Act.
Okay, so you'll write Delimitation Commission Act. Which year it was brought, this act? Yes. Okay, every time they have formed, it is supported by an act. So Delimitation Commission Act 2002. Okay, Delimitation Commission Act 2002. Okay. So there has been a question on Delimitation Commission before as well. But again, later on when we start discussing about that question, so we'll try to look into its various aspects. Now we shall stop here itself. So it's a non-constitutional body, it's a statutory body. Okay. Who will establish Delimitation Commission? President. Okay, President. So all those things we'll add here itself. Okay, we'll add here itself. So the Constitutional 71st Amendment Act 1992 amends the 8th schedule to the Constitution to include which of the following languages? Okay, which of the following languages? So here we need to know about all the aspects. So one is 8th schedule. It consists of how many languages?
20 to 20.
Yes, 22 languages, right? So initially in 1950, so how many languages were part of the 8th schedule? There were 14 languages. Initially there were 14 languages. Okay, languages. Next, how many times amendment has taken place to the 8th schedule? 3 or 4? Okay. Which was the first amendment? 21st amendment. Through 21st amendment, which were the languages added? Yes, Sindhi. Next, 71st amendment. Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali. Next, 92nd amendment. Which were added? Bodo, Dogri, Santali, Maithili. Next, how many amendments? 96th. Okay, 96th amendment, renaming of Odia. So 96th amendment, renaming of, previously what was the name? Odia. Now, okay, Oria. Okay. So see, again, this is also important. How many amendments have taken place? 4 amendments have taken place. But with this 96th amendment, there has been no insertion. It has been just what? Change of name. Okay, change of name. So here, these 3 amendments are important. 71st, 21st, 71st, and 92nd. Okay, 92nd. Now they asked on which amendment? 71st amendment. Right. So which are the options? Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali. Okay. So Maithili was added through 92nd amendment. So now in this context, what you will do? You will prepare the entire 8th schedule. Okay. So entire 8th schedule languages. So if I ask, Punjabi is part of 8th schedule, true or false?
Yes, sir.
Rajasthani? Yes or no? Kashmiri? Next, Manipuri? Tripuri? Tripuri? No. Nepali? Okay. So they often cause confusion. So Sindhi? Next, Konkani? Tulu? Tulu? No. Okay. So they'll cause confusion. If I ask you to recall, you should be able to recall these languages. Okay, these languages. Next, apart from that, out of curiosity, what you can do is, so where are these languages spoken predominantly? Okay. Now some languages very easily you will be able to connect. Kannada, Karnataka. Tamil, Tamil Nadu. Punjabi, Punjab. Okay. Manipuri, Manipur. Nepali, Nepal. Bodo, Dogri,
Jammu and Kashmir.
Santali, Maithili. So see, these languages, they'll start confusing you. So you should become perfect. So the traditional languages which we are aware, we shall not focus much on them. But Bodo, Dogri, Santali, Maithili, those who are not aware, out of curiosity will add. So where they are spoken. Exact state might not be important because that language might have spread across multiple states. But at least the region is important. Okay, region is important. So entire list. Next, where they are spoken, which are the amendments that have taken place. Okay, which are the amendments that have taken place. So along with it, what you can do? You can add few more current affairs related things. For example, among these, how many languages have been declared as classical languages?
Eight.
Yes, 8. Now you have to tell me because I don't know. So classical languages, you'll make a list. Which was the first language to be declared as a classical language? Tamil in which year? Yes. So which were the, yes, 2004. Which were the languages that were given classical status in the recent past?
Marathi,
Marathi, Assamese, yes, Pali. Okay. Now totally how many classical languages we have? 11. Whether all the languages which have been accorded the classical status, they are all the languages are part of 8th schedule? Which language is not part of the 8th schedule? Yes, Pali. Only Pali? Pali and which is the other one? Prakrit. Okay. See here. Means these are the various dimensions we'll think. But UPS is going to think what much ahead than us. But at least we'll make an attempt to place ourselves into their footsteps at least to some extent. Okay. So these are the various dimensions you'll prepare as by taking this question as a base. Okay. By considering this question as a base. So what's the answer here? 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So which were the languages added through 21st amendment? 71st amendment. Okay. Next, 92nd amendment. Santali, Maithili. Okay. Maithili. Which of the following statements are correct about the Constitution of India? powers of the municipalities are given in part 9A of the constitution. Emergency provisions are given in part 18 of the constitution. Provisions related to the amendment of the constitution are given in the part 20 of the constitution. Okay, so again this question, it's easy, but we have to prepare. Okay, so we are not expected to prepare all the articles, but at least we are expected to prepare the important parts. Part 1 deals with union and its territories. Part 2 deals with citizenship. Part 3 deals with fundamental rights. Okay, so fundamental rights, which range of articles? 12 to 35. Part 4 deals with DPSP. Next, part 4A deals with fundamental duties, added through which amendment? 42nd amendment. Next, part 5. Part 6. Part 7. Assessment you have to do, where you are getting stuck. Up to part 4A you are very much confident, but after part 4A you are getting stuck. Okay, you are getting stuck. Now similarly you will prepare, there are 22 parts. Okay, each and every part associated with what? Okay, this if you prepare very easily you will be able to answer in the examination. Okay, in the examination. And generally municipalities, see I always told you that when it comes to Panchayat Raj system and municipalities, okay, so which one is important? From UPSC point of view, Panchayat Raj system is important. Municipality, they have never asked a question itself. So as they never asked, we are going to accord it a very, very less priority. Okay, so even though if some to some extent if we are preparing, so this will be the extent. So municipality, which article? Sorry, which part deals with it? Okay, deals with it. And also you can, let's just look at the range of articles. So which are the range of articles which deal with municipalities? 243 P2 ZZ. Okay, so the range of articles, every article not important. So when it comes to Panchayat Raj system, 243 to 243 O. Okay. O. So here powers of the municipalities are given in part 9A of the constitution. True or false? Yes. True. Emergency provisions are given in which? Part 18. Okay. Next, provisions related to amendment of the constitution are given in part 20 of the constitution. Correct? Okay. So what you have to do? The best is you will make a list of all the 22 parts. Okay. So you will memorize a list of all the 22 parts. Okay, 22 parts. Answer is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. So again, this is a very tricky question here. In 2024, okay, which one of the following statement is correct as per the Constitution of India? Interstate trade and commerce is a state subject under the state list. Interstate migration is a state subject under the state list. Interstate quarantine is a union subject under the union list. Corporation tax is a state subject under the state list. False. Okay. So here, if you look at the state list, union list and union list, state list and concurrent list. So how many subjects are there in union list?
100.
Approximately 100. Next in the state list, 60. Concurrent list. Yes. 53. So what will be the strategy here? We'll prepare all the entire list of union, state and concurrent list. Then we'll be able to answer this question. Yes or no? Okay. So that will be a wrong strategy. Okay. So in that fashion, if every aspirant prepares, then all will become IAS officers. But all who just invest the effort, they are not going to become. Okay. Because we require proper strategy. So I am mentioning this in the initial days of my preparation when I was not aware. So I had bahated the list of 7th schedule first union list. No doubt it took some time, okay, around 5 to 6 days, but I had memorized because of the lack of guidance. But later on, after going through the question papers and all, I realized, so very, very common things, okay, which are around us. So such entities are important. Okay, such entities are important. And especially when it comes to interstate, whenever it is interstate, okay, so always it will be a union list subject. It will not be a concurrent list subject also. Whenever it is an interstate, always it will be a union list subject itself. And also, see here, it's a 2024 question, right? Interstate quarantine. Okay, so quarantine, this term repeatedly we used to hear in which year? COVID. 2020 and 21 we used to hear. So that concept somewhere he has brought here, quarantine concept. Okay, so is a union subject under the what? Under the union list. So here quarantine is not important. What is important here is interstate is important and union is important. Okay, union is important. But apart from these, there are few entities which are important. So we need to know about the list where they are present. If you look at education, education is present in concurrent list. Next, health is present in state list. Police is present in state list. Next, when it comes to electricity, concurrent list. Agriculture, state list. So these are some entities which are important. We'll only focus on them. Okay, we'll only focus on them. So we'll not prepare the entire list of approximately 200 subjects. We just focus on important subjects. Okay. Defense falls under which list? Union list. Which question? Okay. Under which of the following articles of the Constitution of India has the Supreme Court of India placed the right to privacy? Okay. So, Article 21. Easiest question. See, even though it's easy but repetitive, they'll focus. Okay, they'll focus. So, right to privacy is placed under Article number 21. Now, if you go through Lakshmikant, also they have listed many rights which have been interpreted as rights under what? Article number 21. Again, practically you cannot memorize that list also. Recent developments that have taken place. So, right to privacy is a term which repeatedly appears in the newspaper. Okay, so again in that context we have a judgment called as Puttaswamy judgment. So many other things will come into picture, but here they will not focus on judgment. So right to privacy was interpreted as a fundamental right under article number 21. Okay, through Supreme Court judgment. Which was that judgment? Case Puttaswamy. Recently, whatever the judgment that was given, so case Puttaswamy judgment. So there it was declared as what? Right to privacy as a fundamental right under article number 21. Okay, 21. Now, similarly, which are the other important rights where the recent judgments were given? So, yes, environment. Right to environment comes under which article? 21 itself. Next, right to marry a person of one's choice. 21. Again, it was a Supreme Court judgment in a case, Hadia case. Okay, in Kerala Hadia case. So, that term was introduced. Means it was interpreted as under article number 21. So, in this fashion, you are not going to go through the entire list which has been given in Lakshmikant. So what is important here is the recent current affairs related development is very important, and the examination many a times in the recent past it has been repeating. So whenever such kind of questions appear, so obviously it will be part of what? Article number 21. Okay. So here in this context we will revise article number 15. What does article number 15 deal with? Prohibition of discrimination on grounds of race, religion, caste, sex or place of birth. Okay, place of birth. Article number 16. Equality of opportunity in matters of public and private employment. Yes, public employment. Article number 19. Freedom of speech and expression. Okay, which are the sub freedoms? Assembly, association, movement, profession, residence. Okay, so all those things will go. Now in the book, what happens in Lakshmikant notes? There are limitations which we have discussed. Okay, it means all these rights are not absolute. They are subject to some kind of limit or restrictions as well. So those kind of restrictions are never asked a question. Okay, they never asked a question. For article number 15, 16, 17, for everything there is an exception. For article number 19 also there is an exception. So they are mentioned explicitly, but there has never been a question. Okay, there has never been a question. But if you, when you are reading newspaper article and all, repeatedly they discuss these limitations in the context of article number 19. So even though they are never asked, there are very high chances that they may ask. So article number 19, what, apart from the right, what are the limitations? Means which are the provisions which restrict the enjoyment of rights under article number 19. For example, what? Sovereignty of state. Next, morality. So these are various provisions, right? For only article number 19 you will prepare. Okay, article number 19 you will prepare. Okay. Now it comes to economically weaker section, EWS. So which was introduced in 2019. So whether any kind of constitutional changes took place at the introduction of EWS? Yes. To which article? 15 and 16. So these all things we will just connect. Okay, we will connect. So when you come across these articles, I'll urge you to what? Do a revision of the entire what fundamental rights, again to the extent that it is required. Okay. Okay. So which of the following statements about the ethics committee in the Lok Sabha are correct? So this is not present in what the old version of Lakshmikant. I don't know about the new version. Okay. So in our notes also I think it is missing. Ethics committee information is missing. So what is the answer here? What's the answer? Okay, otherwise, 193, right? 193. Okay, anyhow, so we'll discuss about this once again. I'll just make a compilation about the ethics committee and then we shall discuss. Okay, then we shall discuss. But it's a current affairs based question, important. Okay, we shall update. So whatever the committees that we have listed. Okay, ethics committee is part of our cabinet committee or parliamentary committee? Parliamentary committee. Okay, so among the parliamentary committee, which committee has the highest number of members? Estimates committee. How many members are there as part of estimates committee? 30. Next, public accounts committee? 22. All 22 are from Lok Sabha? 15 plus 7. So public account committee members are elected or nominated? Elected. Yes, they are elected. Okay, for a period of 1 year. So in that context, we have listed few committees which are important from exam point of view. So one I already listed, public accounts committee. Which are the other committees? Estimate committee. Next, committee on public sector undertakings. Next, over departmental. Yes, departmental standing committee. So how many members are there in departmental standing committee? Yes, 31. Okay, 31. Yes, one more is business advisory. No, business advisory committee. It is also important, but it's not a joint committee. Business advisory committee is a separate committee of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, Rajya Sabha. Again, there are many committees, but again, during the discussion I have mentioned, there are only few committees which we shall focus. Business advisory committee is there. Next, committee on subordinate legislation is there. Okay, just one line of information would be sufficient. Could be sufficient. So we'll look into it. Okay. So consider the following statements regarding Nari Shakti Vandan Abhiyan, Adhiniyam. Okay, Adhiniyam. It's a current affairs based question. Okay, even though it's part of polity itself, but it's current affairs based. Okay, so what is this about? Okay, women reservation. Where? Only Lok Sabha or also Rajya Sabha?
State legislature.
Only Rajya Sabha.
Only Lok Sabha and state legislature.
Okay, very important. See, the question that you are supposed to ask to yourself is whether it extends, the reservation extends to only Lok Sabha or also Rajya Sabha. Whether it extends only to the parliament or also it extends to legislatures of the states as well. When it comes to legislatures of the states, only legislative assembly or also legislative council. Okay, so here it is only Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies. It will not extend to Rajya Sabha. It will not extend to what? Legislative councils as well. Okay, councils as well. Provisions will come into effect from the 18th Lok Sabha. So here we need to know about the Lok Sabha. The present Lok Sabha is, yes, 18th Lok Sabha. Okay, so at least that basic information if you have, then it will help us to eliminate. Okay, it will help us to eliminate. So now just based on this first choice, can we eliminate? If you eliminate 1, it will be 2 and 3. Then from which Lok Sabha it will come into force? Okay, so there they are not mentioned about which Lok Sabha. They have mentioned that after the census. Okay, next what Lok Sabha election when we will go, at that time what? These provisions will come into force. So whether these provisions will remain eternally? For 15 years. Okay, for 15 years. So all that information is important. This will be in force for 15 years after becoming an act. There are provisions for the reservation of seats for scheduled caste women within the quota reserved for the scheduled caste. Okay, this is also true. So whether there is the reservation of scheduled caste in the Lok Sabha? Scheduled tribe? Yes. Whether there is the reservation of scheduled caste in Rajya Sabha? In Rajya Sabha? Just search it once. Whether there is a reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in Rajya Sabha? Yes, there is no reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in Rajya Sabha. Similarly, when it comes to states legislative assembly, okay, there is a reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Yes, in case of legislative council, no. Okay, legislative council, no. So again, these are the curiosity-driven questions which we are expected to ask to ourselves and try to get the answer for the same. Okay, for the same. And in other context, we have seen a person who has been declared as a scheduled caste in Karnataka, can he contest the MLA election in Maharashtra under the scheduled caste category? Okay, I'll frame in another way. A person who has been declared as a scheduled caste in Karnataka, okay, can he contest for a scheduled caste reserved constituency in Uttar Pradesh
No, sir. No, sir.
for MP election?
Yes, sir.
For MP election?
Yes.
For MLA election? Very important. Okay, a person who has been declared as a scheduled caste in Karnataka, he can contest for a Lok Sabha election in any state under the reserved category. But for MLA election, okay, so he cannot contest in the other state under the reserved category. Okay, under the reserved category. The next question will arise: can he contest under the what general category?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next question is to contest in a legislative assembly election, whether his name has to be present as part of the electoral list in that state or not necessary.
Not necessary. For
You have to search. It is necessary. Okay. If you want to contest for an MLA election in Karnataka, okay, then your name should be somewhere in the voter list in Karnataka. Then itself you can contest out MLA election. So it means even a general category candidate from Karnataka also cannot go and contest in Maharashtra. Okay, Maharashtra. So a writ of prohibition is an order issued by the Supreme Court or High Courts too. Okay, so this question is related to which topic? This question is related to which topic? Fundamental rights. Okay, this is related to fundamental rights. At the end of the fundamental rights, we have what? Writs. So this writ power. So which article deals with writ power?
32.
Article number 32. Right to constitutional remedies. So we have writ powers. So which are the various writ powers? Habeas corpus, prohibition, certiorari, quo warranto. Okay, so these are the various writ provisions. So now in the recent past, they have started focusing on writ. Okay, so very important. You have to go through what? Line by line. Okay, line by line. So what is habeas corpus?
To have the bond.
Yes. Okay. So whosoever is there, you have to bring him in person. Okay, that is habeas corpus. Next. This is prohibition. Mandamus. What does my mandamus say? Mandamus can be issued only by courts. True or false?
Sir. Only court, sir. Only public, sir.
There's a confusion. You will go today and you will prepare on writ. Tomorrow in the test, as part of the test, so there will be questions on writ. So you will get confused because there are some entities where only what? Judiciary can issue writs. Whereas in some cases, even judiciary as well as administrative structures can also issue writs. Okay, issue writs. So you just go through that, and you also try to find out the difference between them. Okay, difference between them. Okay, all of them. So mandamus is what? To asking someone to do their job properly. Okay, do their job properly. Who can do it? Only courts or others? Okay, any public body can do it. Okay, do it. Now here, the writ of prohibition is an order issued by the Supreme Court or High Court to a government officer, to the parliament legislature, to the lower court, to the government prohibiting it from following an unconstitutional policy. What is the answer? Okay, it can only be issued to lower court. Okay, so the lower court prohibiting continuation of proceedings in a case. Okay, similar to prohibition, we have one more, wherein the case will be taken by the Supreme Court. Yes, certiorari. In case of certiorari, what happens? You stop doing it, we will do it. But here, prohibits, you should not continue itself. That is a writ of prohibition. Okay, writ of prohibition. Writs are issued by?
Parliament can.
Sorry, sir. Writs are issued only by courts. It can be issued against whom? Whether, sorry, it's not who issues them. Writs can be issued only by Supreme Court and High Court. The question is, it can be issued against whom? Whether only judicial body or other bodies as well. Okay. So this writ, it can be issued against administrative body. No, it can be issued only against what? Judicial lower court itself. Okay, lower court. But in some other cases, it can be issued against what? Administrative body as well. Okay, administrative body as well. So again, here it's very important when it comes to writ power. So the writ power of Supreme Court is more, or writ power of High Court is more? High Court. The writ power of High Court is wider than that of the writ power of the Supreme Court. Okay, Supreme Court. So we'll go through the entire what? Writs and we'll prepare. Okay, we'll prepare. Yes. Consider the following statements. It is the governor of the state who recognizes and declares any community of that state as a scheduled tribe. Who recognizes? Okay, see here, it is not mentioned explicitly in the any of our topics. Okay, topics, but it's a basic curiosity question. Who can declare a community as a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe? It is president. It's not governor. So it is the president and not the governor who recognizes and declares any community of that state as a scheduled tribe. It also extends to scheduled caste as well. Okay, scheduled caste as well. A community declared as a scheduled tribe in a state need not be so in another state. Okay. If a caste has been declared as scheduled caste in Karnataka, whether the same caste can also be, will also be as a considered as scheduled caste in Maharashtra? No. Okay. So again, see, when it comes to when we go to the deeper level, for example, if any kind of atrocities have been committed, then it will be different. But can you enjoy the power of reservation in other state? Okay. No. Okay. No. So here, a community declared as a scheduled tribe in a state need not be so in another state. Okay, it need not be so in another state. Very important. Similarly, a community declared as a scheduled caste in one state need not be so in another state. Okay, so it means when the president creates an order, okay, that order will be in respect to that particular state. Okay, that particular state. Okay, particular state. Now, when it comes to, for example, central government jobs, there is a reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. At that time, anyone can apply. Okay, so across India, so whosoever belongs to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, they can apply. But when it comes to, for example, a particular state government, employment. Now, if Maharashtra government, it will do a call form for some kind of recruitment. At that time, can a person of Karnataka who belongs to scheduled caste, so claim the reservation in Maharashtra? No. Okay, no. Because a community declared a scheduled caste or tribe in a state need not be so in another state. Okay, another state. Important. Okay. So here the answer is 2 only. Okay, 2 only. With reference to union budget, consider the following statements. So the Union Finance Minister on behalf of the Prime Minister lays the annual financial statement before both the houses of Parliament. Okay. At the union level, no demand for a grant can be made except on the recommendations of the President of India. Okay. So if you have gone through the content, then easily we can answer it. Okay, easily we can answer it. So who presents the budget every year? Finance Minister. But if you look at the content, what do they say? President. President will present the budget. But Finance Minister on behalf of President. So every year he will lay the budget in the Parliament. Okay, the Parliament. So the Union Finance Minister on behalf of the Prime Minister. So Prime Minister is wrong. It should be President lays the annual financial statement before both the houses of Parliament. Okay. So before both the houses of Parliament or only Lok Sabha? Both houses of Parliament. Next, annual financial statement. Which article deals with it? 112. Okay. Whether the term budget is present in the Constitution? No. So instead of budget, what word we have in Constitution? Annual financial statement. Okay. What does annual financial statement consist of? Expenditure and receipts of the present year. Sorry, the estimates of the upcoming year. Okay, and revised estimates of present year and actual estimates of the previous year. It will consist of data of 3 years. Okay, 3 years. So again, we have to go through the content of annual financial statement. Okay. Next, at the union level, no demand for grant can be made except on the recommendations of the President of India. So what is demand for grant? Demand for grant. So who will demand and who will grant? States will demand. Ministries will demand. Okay, for Defense Ministry, Home Ministry, all the ministries, they will put a place a demand. So that demand will be granted by whom? By to be specific, it will be Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha will grant it. Okay, Lok Sabha will grant it. So India has approximately how many demand for grants? One ministry, only one demand for grant. True or false? Okay, so approximately we have 100 plus demand for grants. So this indicates that the number of demand for grants for one ministry is not restricted. Okay, it's not restricted. So here you can go to the absolute numbers in 2025-26 budget. Okay, 25-26 budget. How many demands for grants were placed? Okay, you can just go through that content. Okay, you can go through that content. So demand for grant can be made except on the recommendation of the president. Okay, so once the demands for grant has been passed, automatically money will go into the respective ministry's account. From the consolidated fund of India, the amount will go to the minister's account. Then they can start spending once the demand for grant has been passed. True or false?
Appropriation.
Very important. Just a demand for grants, if it has been passed, automatically funds will not go to the respective ministry's account. So we have to pass one more bill, that is called as appropriation bill. So once the appropriation bill becomes an act, then money will be dispersed to the respective ministry's account. Okay, respective ministry's account. So all these things you have to revise in this context. So what is the answer? Okay, 2 only. Okay, 2 only. So here when it comes to budget, you will go through all the various aspects, important key terms associated with budget. So about the budget we have predominantly discussed in economic section, not in quality, but in economic section we have discussed in detail. Okay, in detail. Next, except on the recommendation of the President of India. Similarly, in which other case recommendation of the President of India is required? Will you be able to recall 1 or 2 important examples wherein the recommendation of President of India is required?
Introduction of money bill in Lok Sabha.
Introduction of money bill in the Lok Sabha. It requires what? Prior recommendation of the President. Next. Finance bill 1. Yes. Next.
Introduction of new types of taxes.
Yes.
New types of taxes.
New types of taxes. So tax will be considered as part of money bill itself. Okay, it will be considered as part of money bill. Interstate trade. So whenever you want to bring something with respect to interstate trade, so again you require what? Prior recommendation of President. So what you will do? Recommendation of the President. For which all other cases recommendation of President, prior recommendation is required. You will just what? You just make a list and you will prepare on the same. Okay, you will prepare on the same. Okay. So with reference to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, consider the following statements. While any of the resolution for the removal of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha is under consideration, he shall not preside, he shall not have the right to speak, he shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution in the first instance. So in the previous 2025 question also we had a question on Speaker. Something like whether Speaker will resign or something, such kind of question did exist. So it means, see, Speaker is a very important constitutional post. Okay, so there have been questions repeatedly being asked on Speaker. So you will revise the entire topic related to Speaker. Okay, Speaker. So while any resolution for the removal of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha is under consideration, so who can remove Speaker? So the resolution has to be passed by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. True or false? Yes, only Lok Sabha. Only Lok Sabha has to pass the resolution. So Lok Sabha has to pass the resolution with what kind of majority? Okay, so with the number of people who are present and voting, effective majority. Okay, effective majority. Next is under consideration, he shall not preside. True or false? Yes, true. If he is not presiding, then who will preside? Deputy? If deputy speaker is absent. Okay, panel of chairpersons, among those one of them will come and he will preside. Okay, he will preside. Next, he shall not have the right to speak. False. So whether he has the right to speak? Yes, he can speak. Okay, he can speak. Next, third one. He shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution in the first instance. False. So now he will be enjoying first instance vote. But when it comes to what? Casting vote, whether he enjoys casting vote? No. So first instance vote is there, but here it is wrong. Okay, it's wrong. Okay. So what's the answer here? Only 1. So we just look into the options. So 1 only. Okay, 1 only. So in this context, you'll prepare all the other things related to Speaker. So who will fix the date of the election of the Speaker? Yes, President. Okay. So when Speaker wants to resign, he'll submit his resignation to whom? President or Deputy Speaker? Deputy Speaker. Okay. So when he is elected as the Speaker, so whether the Speaker will resign to maintain impartiality? No, but some kind of this kind of resignation provision exists in other country. Which country? UK. Okay. So normally when speaker is presiding, so will he be entitled to first instance vote? No. Will he be entitled to casting vote? Yes. Okay. When there is a joint sitting, so who will get the highest priority to preside? Speaker. In the absence of speaker, Deputy Speaker. Okay. In this fashion, you will prepare for Speaker and also you will prepare for Deputy Speaker. And conventionally, the position of Speaker, it goes to opposition party. Okay, Speaker belongs to majority party, but Deputy Speaker post, it goes to opposition as per the mandate of the Constitution. Okay, as per the convention, it is not as per the mandate of the Constitution. Okay. Okay. With reference to Indian Parliament, consider the following statements. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. Okay. Now we will not look into the options. Without looking into the options itself, we should be able to tell. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. What does it mean? A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. Okay. True or false? True. Okay. Okay. So, what are the chances of this bill, whether it has been introduced in Lok Sabha or it has been introduced in Rajya Sabha? Both the cases are possible. So, here a bill pending in Lok Sabha means already Rajya Sabha has passed it and it is pending in Lok Sabha. Or in Lok Sabha itself it has been introduced, but still it is in the discussion stage. In both the cases, when the Lok Sabha gets dissolved, what happens? Okay, so the bill will lapse. The bill will lapse. Okay, so one is true. A bill passed by the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha lapses on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. A bill passed by the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha. In Lok Sabha already they have passed. In Rajya Sabha, what? Pending. It means still it is in the discussion stage. What happens? It will lapse. Okay, it will lapse because whichever is associated with what? Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, it will lapse. Now I will convert this statement. Otherwise, first we should complete this. So this is, it will lapse. Okay, it will lapse. Third, a bill in regard to which the President of India notified his or her intention to summon the houses to a joint sitting lapses on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. Okay, false. Because already if a president has called for a joint sitting, okay, joint sitting, such a bill will not lapse. Okay, not lapse. So a bill in regard to which the President of India notified his or her intention to summon the House to a joint sitting lapses on the resolution of the Lok Sabha. So it is false. Okay, false. First one is true. Second one, the bill passed by the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha lapses on the second is also true. Answer is 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is the answer. Now we'll come back. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. I will change this question. What I will do is, a bill pending in Rajya Sabha lapses on its dissolution. See, the question will be insufficient to answer. Why? Because now it depends upon whether the bill has been introduced in Rajya Sabha or introduced in Lok Sabha. Okay, if I change the statement like this, a bill has been passed by Lok Sabha and pending in Rajya Sabha. Now what happens? It will get lapsed or not? It will be lapsed. A bill has been introduced in Rajya Sabha and still it is at the discussion stage. It has not yet gone to Lok Sabha. What happens to that bill?
Does not lapse.
It does not lapse. Very important. See, a bill which has been introduced in Rajya Sabha. Okay, so still it is in the discussion stage. It has not yet gone to Lok Sabha itself. So this bill will not lapse. Okay, will not lapse. Okay. So in all the other cases, the bills will lapse. Okay, the bills will lapse. A bill passed by the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha lapses on the resolution. I will reverse here. Bill passed by Rajya Sabha and pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. True or false? True. Okay. A bill A bill being discussed in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, and it cannot be in the pending in the Lok Sabha because after one house it will go to the next. So a bill pending in the Rajya Sabha, which has been initiated in Rajya Sabha itself, okay, will lapse. True or false?
No.
Will not lapse. Okay, will not lapse. Okay. Okay, President of India notified his intention to summon the houses to a joint sitting. Okay, so when can President summon the joint sitting? For ordinary bill, for money bill, for constitutional amendment bill? Ordinary bill. In case of what? In case of money bill, whether there is a provision of joint sitting? No. In case of constitutional amendment bill? No. So when president calls a joint sitting for ordinary bill, okay, ordinary bill, which are the various scenarios in which he can call for a joint sitting? Lok Sabha has passed and Raj Sabha has rejected. Can a president call a joint sitting?
Yes, sir.
Lok Sabha has passed the bill and Raj Sabha has rejected. Can the president call the joint sitting?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So whether president shall definitely call the joint sitting? No. He may call the joint sitting. If Raj Sabha has passed a bill and Lok Sabha rejected it, so can president call for joint sitting? Okay, he may call for joint sitting. Okay, he may call for joint sitting. So this is one case. So now Lok Sabha has passed the bill, and Raj Sabha will keep quiet for some days. Okay. So what is the duration after which Lok Sabha president may call a joint sitting? 6 months. Okay, 6 months. After 6 months, he may call for a joint sitting. So these are the various provisions under which president can call for a joint sitting. Okay, joint sitting. So based on this question, these are the various aspects that you will prepare. Okay, you will prepare.
For financial bill, joint sitting.
Yes. For which kind of finance bill it is possible? Both the finance bills or only one kind of finance bill? Which one? Okay, finance bill 2. So there it will cause a slight confusion. Okay, you just repeatedly go through that finance bill 1 and 2, because in the recent 2022 or 23 they asked a question on finance bill as well. Okay, there are some provisions which are common for finance bill 1 and 2. What are the common features for finance bill 1 and 2?
Prior
We need president's approval before considering.
Before considering in which case? Finance bill 1 or 2?
one.
Finance bill 1.
See, there is a slight difference. See, so prior president's recommendation is required in case of finance bill 1 or finance bill 2? Only in finance bill 1. In finance bill 2, it is considered, it is required which stage? Consideration stage. Okay, consideration stage. So those minute differences are there, right? Finance bill 1 and 2. So you will prepare them. Okay, you will prepare them. Very important. Next, joint sitting provision is possible in case of both finance bill 1 and 2 or only one of them? One of them. Which one? 2 or 1? Finance bill 2. Okay. So those things will build clarity. Will build clarity. So next, with reference to the Parliament of India, consider the following statements. So prorogation of a house by the President of India does not require the advice of Council of Ministers. Prorogation of a house is generally done after the house is adjourned sine die, but there is no bar to the President of India prorogating the house which is in session. Third one, dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India, who, save in exceptional circumstances, does so on the advice of the Council of Ministers. So what is prorogue? What is prorogue of a house?
Stop the session.
Okay, end of the session. Okay, so one is summon, another one is prorogue, right? So before we start a session, so who will go for summon? Who will call the summon? President. Next, prorogue? President. So once the session starts, there will be multiple sittings. Okay, multiple sittings. So in these multiple sittings, we came across a term called as adjournment. Adjournment and adjournment sine die. So what is the basic difference between adjournment and adjournment sine die? So particular date and time is fixed in case of adjournment. So once the adjournment sine die has been issued, it means the next date and time when we will be meeting, so it is not set. So generally adjournment sine die in a particular session, how many times it is issued? Generally only once. So adjournment, multiple adjournments. Okay, on day-to-day basis there can be multiple adjournments. Okay, adjournments. Now when will President issue prorogue? After adjournment sine die? Generally, yes, generally he will issue after adjournment sine die. Okay. Next, here whether President will issue this prorogue and summon whether it's a discretionary power of president or it will be as per the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. Aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. See, when it comes to discretionary power of president, they are very, very less. Okay, so when you compare the discretionary power of president and governor, in the previous class we discussed. So who has more discretionary powers, governor or president? Governor. So president has very less discretionary powers. So in few cases, when there is a no party in majority, in such instance, president can call a person and appoint him as prime minister. Okay, so very, very few. So here, prorogation of a house by the president of India does not require the advice of Council of Ministers. False. Okay, he requires what? The advice of the Council of Ministers, because it's not a discretionary power of president. So first one is false. Okay, first one is false. Next, so if you eliminate one, will you come to answer? No. 2 and 3, 3 only. But in such cases, can they set an option like this? How many of the above are correct? Yes, they may set, in such questions, they may set such kind of options. How many of the above are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3 they can set. Okay. So prorogation of a house is generally done after the house is adjourned, sine die. But there is no bar to the President of India prorogating the house which is in session. Okay. So nowhere they are mentioned in the Lakshmikant. And that is not required also, because we already know that it is not a discretionary power. It is based on the choice made by Council of Ministers. If the Council of Ministers tell to President that you have to call off this session, then definitely President has to do it. Okay, President has to do it. Whether adjournment sine die has been issued by the presiding officer, speaker or not, immaterial of that. Okay, irrespective of that. So what President can issue? What? Prorog. So he can issue prorogation of house is generally done, but there is no bar to the President of India prorogating the house which is in session. Yes, there is no restriction. Okay, there is no restriction. So without adjournment sine die being issued by the presiding officer, President can issue. Okay, prorog. Okay, prorog. Now here there will be confusion also. Some in the examination hall. We should go through the third statement. Dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India, who, save in exceptional circumstances, does so on the advice of the Council of Ministers. So now this statement, it has to be what? Deciphered. Why? Because there are multiple things which have been clubbed. So who will dissolve the who has the power to dissolve Lok Sabha? President has the power to dissolve Lok Sabha. So whenever President wishes, as per his whims and fancies, can he dissolve the Lok Sabha? No. So President can dissolve Lok Sabha based on whose advice? Okay, so Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister. Okay, whatever the advice they give, based upon that, President will dissolve. Now, after 5 years, if the Council of Ministers have not given also, can he dissolve? Yes, he can dissolve. Next, in between, okay, Council of Ministers have not given the recommendation, but still President wants to dissolve. Can he dissolve or not?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes. If the President understands that the present government is not enjoying the confidence of the Lok Sabha, then President can use it as a discretionary power and dissolve. Okay, dissolve. So here in the statement, dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll remove this statement. India on the advice of the Council of Ministers. If this is a statement, whether the statement will be right or wrong. How you will read? Dissolution of Lok Sabha is done by the President of India on the advice of the Council of Ministers. True. Okay. Now I'll change the statement. Dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by President only on the advice of the Council of Ministers. In which case it will be false? When there is no confidence in the ministry on the ministry by the Lok Sabha. Okay. Now dissolution of Lok Sabha is done by the. So I'll just change the statement. Always dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by President on the advice of the Council of Ministers. If I remove always, it's correct. Okay, it's correct. Okay. So save in exceptional circumstances. See, what does it mean? Save in exceptional circumstances means dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India, who does so on the advice of the Council of Ministers. But save in some cases, he may do it without the advice of the Council of Ministers. So which is that case? No confidence. When the ministers does not enjoy the confidence. So third statement is? It's correct. Dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Third statement is correct. Now already we had eliminated one. Yes.
After no compromise motion is passed, the minister's executive will resign, so
No, dissolution of Lok Sabha will not take place. But now President may dissolve. Some other parties are ready to form the government. So see, that is convention. President may give an opportunity. But if no one is enjoying, no one is coming forward, President has the right to dissolve also.
How can you dissolve the whole Lok Sabha?
Yes,
It's against the government.
when the no confidence motion is passed, it is against the government. Okay, so dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India, who, save in exceptional circumstances, does so on the Council of Ministers. Okay, now see here in the examination hall, whatever the point you have raised is valid. Now you will come to the options. So one we already eliminated. Okay, we eliminated. We are left with two choices, 2 and 3. 3 only. So 3 is part of both the answers. It means 3 is correct. Okay, 3 is correct. Second one we have to verify. So what is second statement that we saw? Okay, so second statement is also correct. So done after the house, but there is no bar. Second statement is also correct. Now coming to third statement. So already it is right. Why it is right? So dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India. Okay, dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by President of India, who, save in exceptional circumstances, does so on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Now, if the no confidence motion is moved, the government will resign. Entire Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister will resign. Now, President will give an opportunity. Those who want to become Prime Ministers, you please come forward. Come forward. If none of them come forward, then what we have to do? We have to go for an election. Now, if you have to go for the election, dissolution of our Lok Sabha has to take place. Now, President will dissolve by listening to whom? On his own. Okay. So at that time, it will become his discretionary power. He has to dissolve. Okay. So in some exceptional circumstances, he will dissolve it without hearing to the words of Council of Ministers. And if in that time, if you ask Council of Ministers, what they will say? Please don't resign. Dissolve will continue for another 2 years. Okay. So here, in some exceptional situations, so President can dissolve. Okay, President can dissolve.
Sir, no confidence motion, he can dismiss, sir. Dismiss the Council of Ministers, sir. But he can dissolve Lok Sabha if Council of Ministers has lost majority.
Yes, what did you say?
Sir, no confidence motion is passed.
Okay, no confidence motion is passed. You will remove the Council of Ministers. Okay, automatically they will resign.
Yes.
After that, what you will do next? After that, next what you will do? You will ask others. Okay, so if Prime Minister Modi, if they have lost the confidence, then what the President will do? He will ask all the people. So whether Rahul Gandhi is willing to become Prime Minister. Okay, so whether Aam Aadmi Party chief is willing to become Prime Minister. Next we will ask Mamata Banerjee. If all of them are not willing, they may feel that, see, with such kind of government, even if we start running also, it will not run for few days. So rather than this, if we go for an election, then probably out of sympathy, people might vote us. Okay, so what they will do? None of them will come forward. Now what President will do? He has to dissolve. Now without President dissolving, can we go for election? No. So dissolving, it's a namesake exercise that has to take place. Just President has to write a letter and sign saying that I have dissolved the Lok Sabha. Okay, I have dissolved the Lok Sabha. So then itself you can go for election. So it happens only after the no confidence motion has been passed. Okay, or sometimes the no confidence motion will not be brought itself. What happens? Before bringing the no confidence motion itself, the ruling party will understand that we have lost faith. So before the no confidence motion being passed, they themselves will resign. Okay, so it happened during the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Okay, so they resigned. So that can happen. So it is not necessary always that the no confidence motion has to be passed. If before itself, if they get to know that some people of our side they have switched their opinion, or they switched the party and all, then they can resign before the no confidence motion is passed. Okay, it's passed.
That is one of the feature of parliamentary nature.
Yes, very good. That's one of the feature of parliamentary feature. So parliamentary system topic that we have discussed, right? So that is one of the important feature. Okay. Oh, this question, whenever I come across this question, a kind of fear will generate in me. Okay, because no one will find the answer. In essence, what does due process of law mean? Okay, principle of natural justice, because already answer has been given. But if you go through the Lakshmikant, okay, the closest option that will appear correct is fair application of law. Okay, but the question already answered, you are given principle of natural justice. So next time if the same question appears, what you will do? You will write natural justice. Otherwise, if something else will come, then what you will take a risk. Either you will mark or you will leave it. Okay, leave it. But anyhow, these terms are important. Now, due process of law. What is the opposite term? Due process of law. Another one is procedure established by law. So these terms, due process of law and procedure established by law. So we have discussed in the context of the discussion of which topic?
14.
Article number 14. Equality before law and equal protection of laws. So in India, whether we follow due process of law or procedure established by law. Yes. Yeah, in 21 also it comes. Okay, in 21 also comes. But article of 14 also, there are two things. One is due process, sorry, yes, in article number 21 and 14. Due process of law and procedure established by law. In India, we follow what? Procedure established by law. But in India, the concept of what due process of law was also introduced through which judgment? Maneka Gandhi case. Okay, Maneka Gandhi case. So, in case of what procedure established by law, whether rules and regulations are being followed properly or not, only that is going to be checked. But in due process of law, whether the rules have been properly framed or not, that will also be checked. Okay, due process of law, procedure established by law. So, due process of law is for this concept. It originated in which country? Okay, so we have taken the what aspect of due process of law from USA. Okay. So all those things we have to revise here. So the opposite to due process of law is procedure established by law. Okay. Next, okay, equality before law. Which article deals with it? 14. So this question is what bit tricky. So just based on previous itself, you retain the thing. Principle of natural justice. So this question is of 2023. Already we have started with 2023. Okay. So 2023. So completely different question paper. Okay. So now after the exam is over, it's very easy to conclude with the answer. But in the examination hall 2023, all of a sudden the cutoff came from what 92 to 75. So general merit from 92 to 75. Okay. So when you look at such kind of question papers, then you will understand that recall method will help you like anything. Because if you are just going for elimination, then what happens? In few cases you will eliminate. But wherever exact information is required, and if you are unable to recall perfectly, then you will end up marking a wrong choice. Okay, wrong choice. So in India, prisons are managed by the state governments with their own rules and regulations for the day-to-day administration of prisons. Next, in India, prisons are governed by the Prisons Act 1894, which expressly kept the subject of prisons in the control of the provincial governments. Okay, so very tricky question. It's not just based on what Lakshmikant will not be able to answer this question. Okay, so again, sometimes even while reading through newspaper articles also, it will be sometimes difficult. But if you look at the recent trend, so on prison, at least 2 to 3 times they asked a question. Okay, asked a question. Now, first basic that we need to know is prison falls under which list. So this is mentioned in the in our notes as well as Lakshmikant. Okay, so where it is mentioned? In the state list. Okay, in the state list. So we need to know about that prisons are present in state list. So in India, prisons are managed by the state governments with their own rules and regulations for the day-to-day administration of prisons. First statement is correct. Okay, because it comes under state list. Now, second statement, in India, prisons are governed by the Prisons Act 1894, which expressly kept the subject of prisons in the control of the provincial governments. Okay, so now this will cause confusion because prison is an state list subject. So we feel that it is a law made by the center. So how can the center make a law on the state list subject? So these will lead us to confusion. But the second statement is also correct. In India, prisons are governed by which act? Prisons Act. So as per the Prisons Act, the subject of prisons is present in the provincial government, that is state government. Okay, state government. So 1894. So whichever law was enacted at that time, the same law even continues even today. Okay, even today. So here, this question, it's very important. Okay, it's very important because first statement we may come to a conclusion. Second statement, if we are not aware, if we are not aware, then we may interpret it as wrong. Okay, interpret it as wrong, and we may end up marking a wrong choice. Okay, wrong choice. So as repeatedly they asked on prison. Now what we can do here is Prisons Act. Just you can search. If prison is under the state list, why they have enacted or they have still retained the Prisons Act 1894? Why they have what still retained? Okay, in that fashion, some curiosity driven contents extra we can extract and we can add and update here. Okay, update here. Your answer is both 1 and 2, and 2 is the correct explanation for 1. Which of the following statements best reflects the chief purpose of the constitution of a country? It determines the objectives for making of necessary laws. It enables the creation of political office and government. It defines and limits the powers of the government. It secures social justice, social equality, and social security. Okay. So see, the same question it has repeated multiple times. So whenever we come across this, what is the answer? It defines and limits the powers of government. Okay, it defines and what? So whenever we speak about constitutional government, okay, it limits the powers of the government. Which government cannot act as per its whims and fancies. It is restricted. Okay, it is restricted. So for example, restrictions. So can you just recall which are the provisions which restricts the power of parliament or government? Fundamental rights. Next, independent judiciary, written constitution. Yes, judicial review. So next in the examination, they may frame a question like this: which of the following what impose restrictions on the power of the government or on the power of the legislature? Okay, fundamental rights, all those things you can list. And in that case, they may. So what you will do? All those limitations will add here. Which one restrict the power of the government? Okay, you can list it here. In the upcoming year, probably they may ask you they may give a list and they may ask you how many of the above restrict the power of the government. Okay, in that case, we should be able to identify correctly. Okay, correctly. So important, very, very important topic. But this is not first time. Prior to this also, they are at least asked 2 to 3 times the questions on what, which are the provisions which limit the power of the government. Okay, power of the government. Okay. In India, which of the following constitutional amendments was widely believed to be enacted as to overcome the judicial interpretations of the fundamental rights? So whether this question it was cancelled or whether they have given an answer for this, just cross verify once. I think that they have cancelled this question. They have cancelled this question, right? Okay. So if they have cancelled, then we'll leave it. But out of curiosity, what we'll do? Whether we'll be preparing all the amendments, 1 to how many amendments are there? 1 or 6? Okay. Whether we'll be preparing all the amendments? No. So the recent amendments will focus. Let's start from what? 100. 10, 100, 101, 102, 103, 4, 5, 6. So these amendments we shall focus. So what do they deal with? Okay, what do they deal with? Apart from them, what we shall do? Some important amendments. Will you be able to recall some important amendments? 42nd amendment. Next. 44th to some extent. Next. 73rd and 74th. Next. 86th. Okay. So few important amendments we'll focus. Apart from that, out of curiosity, first amendment. What did the first amendment deal with? Okay, deal with. So that we shall focus. When it comes to 42nd amendment, so through 42nd amendment, changes were introduced to preamble, true or false? Changes were introduced to fundamental rights. Changes were introduced to directive principles of state policy. Changes were introduced to fundamental duties. Entire fundamental duties themselves were brought through what? 42nd amendment. Okay, so that will focus. Next, 44th amendment, not that important. It relatively enjoys what? Lesser priority. Okay, lesser priority. 86th amendment, which was an important provision brought through 86th amendment. Okay, right to education. So that we will note. Okay, we will note, and based on this question paper itself, we will prepare. Okay, we'll prepare. Next, consider the following organizations, bodies in India: the National Commission for Backward Classes, National Human Rights Commission, National Law Commission, the National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. So how many of the above are constitutional bodies? Okay. So here, it's based on what constitutional bodies. In the previous 2025 question also we saw about the constitutional bodies. Here also a similar kind of question. Now, what is the answer here? National Commission for Backward Classes. So previously it was not a constitutional body. In 2021 or 22 it was accorded the status of what? It was given a constitutional status. So now one is correct. National Human Rights Commission. It's not a constitutional body. Whether it's a statutory body, Yes, which is the statute dealing with this National Human Rights Commission? Yes. Every day I'll recall that dialogue. Ondu kshaಣ ನನ್ನ ಮೈಯೆಲ್ಲ. Yes. National Human Rights Commission, we have discussed.
Yes.
We have discussed the National Human Rights Commission and State Human Rights Commission. Okay. So, which is the law which deals with it? Human Rights Protection Act. Protection of Human Rights. Okay. Protection of Human Rights Act. Okay. Human Rights Act. National Law Commission. Whether it's a constitutional body? No. Whether it's a statutory body? No. It's neither a constitutional body nor a statutory body. Okay. National Commission, National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. Constitutional body? No. Statutory body? Just check it. Check it once. It is a statutory body under Consumer Protection Act. Okay. So it's a statutory body. Okay. It's a statutory body. Okay. So now, based on this question paper, what you will do? You will list all the constitutional bodies here. Will you be able to recall few of the constitutional bodies? Now, don't say President, Prime Minister, okay, Council of Ministers. Apart from them, which are the other important constitutional bodies? Yes. Okay. UPSC. Next. Election Commission. Next. Yes. National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe. Next. CAG. Next. Okay. UPSC, SPSC. Finance Commission. Good. Next. CAG. Control and Auditor, Comptroller and Auditor General. Yes. EC. EC, I think I mentioned. Yes. GST. Goods and Services. What a body should be present there? GST Council is a constitutional body. GST Council. Okay. Interstate Council is a constitutional body. Next. Zonal Council is a constitutional body. No. Next. Linguistic, okay, that is not that important. Attorney General, very important. Attorney General. So we'll make a list. Okay, we'll make a list of constitutional bodies. Next, apart from them, National Human Rights Commission. In the recent past, they are not asked, but around 15 or 20 years back, in some of the questions, they were asked 1 or 2 questions on National Human Rights Commission. Means, what are the important provisions of National Human Rights Commission? We'll not go into deeper level. Okay. So National Human Rights Commission, we got to know that it is a statutory body. Okay, statutory body. Now, whether there is some important provisions, whether National Human Rights Commission can take cases suo motu. Okay, so there are some important provisions. On those provisions, we'll focus around 3 to 4 lines of notes. We'll add here itself. Okay, we'll add here itself. Next, see whether National Human Rights Commission can punish. Yes or no? Okay, these things will focus. When it comes to National Law Commission, what is the role of National Law Commission? It will do the recommendations. Whether recommendations are binding. No. When it comes to National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, okay, so what does it do? Will it give any kind of orders? Okay, so if it gives some kind of orders, whether they can be challenged or not? If yes, where they can be challenged? High Court or Supreme Court? Okay, so all those things we'll prepare with respect to National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. Okay, Commission. See here, these questions already they have asked before also. So as from the consumer point of view, we need to know some things, some basics. So if there is a grievance, where you will file your complaint? When it comes to government offices, you write an RTI. But when it comes to grievances like this, so where you will send the complaint? Consumer Court. Now when you are sending the complaint, whether you have to pay the fees or not. So these questions have already appeared. So whether you have to pay the fees or not. So these kind of basic aspects we have to focus. Okay, we have to focus. And if you are not satisfied with the consumer court judgment, so what you can do next? Okay, so all these things are important. All these things are important. Consider the following statements. If the election of the President of India is declared void by the Supreme Court of India, all the acts done by him/her in the performance of his duties of the President before the date of decision become invalid. False. Okay, whatever the official acts he has performed, they'll continue to remain valid. Okay, continue to remain valid. So here, this comes under within President. It can be mapped to which provision? It's like not we can't even say about immunity or privileges. Okay, otherwise anyhow we know that whatever acts he has done, okay, so they'll continue to remain in force. Continue to remain in force. Okay, now who see, if the election of the President of India is declared void by the Supreme Court, so whether it can be declared as void only by Supreme Court or also High Court can declare it as void? Only Supreme Court. Okay. In case of Lok Sabha election and Raj Sabha election, okay. So who has the power to declare an election as void? High Court. Okay. High Court. Election for the post of the President of India can be postponed on the ground that some legislative assemblies have been dissolved and election are yet to take place. Okay. So in case of President, who all will participate in the election of President? So we call electoral college, right? So electoral college consists of all the members of Lok Sabha, elected members of Lok Sabha, elected members of Raj Sabha, next elected members of State Legislative Assembly. How about elected members of State Legislative Council? No. Okay. So all will participate. Okay, all will participate. So again, election of President is a very important topic. So there we have come across what? Single transferable vote, and next proportional representation. All of them are important. Okay, all of them are important. So now, if some assembly has been dissolved in some state, whether it will be a ground for the postponement of election? No. Okay. So if there are any kind of vacancies also, election will take place. So second one is false. When a bill is presented to the President of India, the Constitution prescribes time limits within which she has to declare his or her assent. Okay, there is no time limit. Okay, there is no time limit. Okay, so when it comes to President, a bill, now that again basics you have to revise. So which are the various types of bills that can be presented to President? Ordinary bill, money bill, constitutional amendment bill. When it comes to ordinary bill, what are the choices available to President? Can he ratify? Can he reject? Can he return? Okay. In case of money bill, ratify and reject. Can he return? No. In case of constitutional amendment bill, he has to ratify. There is no provision of what? Reject and return. Okay. Reject and return. So when a bill is presented to the President of India, the Constitution prescribes time limits? No. To Governor? Same. Okay. If the time limit has not been given to, now see, recent judgments, recent issue Supreme Court judgment, okay, now they have placed a restriction, means within so and so days you have to give the you have to sign the bill or you have to reject. Okay, you have to reject. So that recent some Supreme Court judgment. Now, but based on judgment, questions will not appear. Okay, don't get panic because you will not get a concrete data in any of the sources. So based on such Supreme Court judgments, they are not going to frame the question. Okay, frame the question. Even in the worst case, let's assume a question appears also. So you are not going to prepare for it. Okay, you are not going to prepare for it because it's not well established yet. Okay, well established. Now we shall assume that, so there is no time limit. If the same question repeats also, then also we shall assume that this statement is correct. Okay, correct. Okay, prescribed. No, this statement is wrong. Prescribes time limit? No, there is no prescribed time limit. So what's the answer here? First one was correct. The performance of the DC's office before the date of the election becomes invalid, false. Second one, that is also false. Okay, so what's the answer? So answer here is none. Okay, none. So this is tricky. First time they have asked a question on finance bill. Before this, never they have asked a question on finance bill. Okay, they never asked what finance bill 192. Okay, finance bill 192. With reference to finance bill and money bill in the Indian Parliament, consider the following statements. So how they frame the question is, they have taken the common features of finance bill 192. They have only focused on the common features of finance bill 192 and then they have framed. Otherwise it would have led to confusion. Okay, so that's why I asked you to prepare on the common features of finance bill 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. When the Lok Sabha transmits a finance bill to the Raj Sabha, it can amend or reject the bill. True or false? See, when it comes to financial bills 1 and 2, okay, so in all the other aspect, so in both finance bill 1 and 2, can it be passed to Raj Sabha?
Yes.
Okay, so can Raj Sabha amend or reject the bill? Yes or no? Next, when the Lok Sabha transmits money bill to the Raj Sabha, it cannot amend or reject the bill. It can only make recommendations. Okay, true. Next, in the case of disagreement between the Lok Sabha and the Raj Sabha, there is no joint sitting for money bill. Okay, but a joint sitting becomes necessary for a finance bill. Okay, see here, the statement is very tricky actually. Now, but a joint sitting, I'll remove this necessary. Okay, but a joint sitting may be called for finance bill. Now it will be true or false? Okay, now it will be true. But what they have made here? Necessary. It is the discretion of the president. Not discretion means whether the council of ministers will say yes or no. It is dependent on that. So here, joint sitting may be called for finance bill. For finance bill, whether the joint sitting provision exists for both 1 and 2 or only one of them. For both of them, for both finance bill 1 as well as finance bill 2, there is a provision of joint sitting. That's what I am saying. They have extracted the common features of finance bill 1 and 2 and they have framed the question. So joint sitting provision exists for both finance bill 1 as well as finance bill 2. Okay. So see, there are some features which are different for finance bill 1 and finance bill 2. They are not focused on them. What they are focused? They are focused on points which are common to both finance bill 1 as well as finance bill 2. Okay, finance bill 2. So third statement, in the case of disagreement between the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, there is no joint sitting for money bill. True. But a joint sitting may be called for finance bill. Yes. May be called. Yes. But whether necessarily becomes necessary, it will not become necessary. It is left to the council of ministers. If they want, then they will advise the president to call it. Otherwise not. Okay. Hence, third one is false. Okay. Third one is false. So when the Lok Sabha transmits money bill to the Rajya Sabha, it cannot amend or reject the bill. So second one is true. Third one is false. Now coming to first one, have you verified? When the Lok Sabha transmits finance bill to the Rajya Sabha, it can amend or reject the bill. First you search for finance bill 1. So whether finance bill 1 can be amended or rejected by the Rajya Sabha? Yes. In case of finance bill 2, whether it can be amended or rejected by the Rajya Sabha? Yes or no? So it's a common feature of both finance bill 1 and 2. Okay, finance bill 1 and 2. So very important. Okay. So when the Lok Sabha transmits finance bill to the Rajya Sabha, it can amend or reject the bill. So it extends to both finance bill type 1 and also finance bill type 2. Now here I asked you to prepare the exact difference between the finance bill 1 and 2. Among finance bill 1 and 2, which one requires prior recommendation of the president for introduction? Yes, 1. So among the finance bill 1 and 2, which one requires the introduction only in Lok Sabha? Or both of them have to be introduced in Lok Sabha only?
Both can be introduced.
Not can be, I am saying. They should be introduced only in Lok Sabha. They cannot be introduced in Rajya Sabha. 1. Finance bill 2? C. They can be introduced in both the houses. So that is different. That is a different aspect. When it comes to introduction, finance bill 1 has to be introduced in Lok Sabha only. It cannot be introduced in Rajya Sabha. But finance bill 2, it can be introduced either in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. What I am saying here is, they are not taken such points. If they had taken such point, it will cause confusion. For example, in the first case, if they make a statement like this, so money bill can be introduced in Lok Sabha only, but finance bill can be introduced in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So will you be able to answer? Why? Because when we say finance bill, now you require a special provision with respect to finance bill 1 and 2, because it's not a common feature. One should be introduced only in Lok Sabha, the other can be introduced in both Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. So hence here they have extracted the common features of finance bill 1 and 2, and then they have set the question. Okay, then they have set the question. So here first one is also correct, second one is also correct. So answer is only 2. Okay, so what level of clarity they are expecting? Now it's very easy, because already what exam is over and now we are sitting in a comfortable position in a comfortable room, and also we have luxury of time, we can think. But in the examination hall, if to answer such kind of questions, a lot of clarity is required. Only if we have that clarity, then we will be able to answer, and there is no elimination. Okay, there is no elimination. So from this you understand what the UPSC expects. Okay, what range of clarity and on what topics. Okay, what topics. So these questions should help us, they should guide us for the upcoming year. Okay, for the upcoming year. Okay. With reference to scheduled areas in India, consider the following statements. See here, in 2025 also there was a question on scheduled area. 24 probably there was no question. Again in 2023 also there is a question. Okay, scheduled area. So within a state, the notification of an area as a scheduled area takes place through the order of the president. True or false? So who can declare an area as a scheduled area? President. How many states of India have scheduled areas? 10 states. Karnataka is part of it. Maharashtra is part of it.
Yes, sir.
Telangana is part of it. Uttar Pradesh is part of it.
No.
Punjab is part of it. Gujarat is part of it.
Yes, sir.
Jharkhand is part of it.
Yes.
West Bengal is part of it.
No, sir.
So here perfect thing is you should what? You should be able to recall the list of states where the scheduled areas are present. Okay, scheduled areas are present. Okay. So within a state, the notification of an area as a scheduled area takes place through an order of the president. True. The second is very tricky actually. At that time we had discussed strongly, but later on we concluded it. The largest administrative unit forming the scheduled area is district, and the lowest is the cluster of villages in a block. So it confused us. Okay, confused us. But now we have complete clarity. So based on official website itself, we took that document. So now, which is the largest administrative unit that can be declared as a scheduled area? A district. Can you declare an entire state as a scheduled area? No. The largest administrative unit that can be declared as a scheduled area is district. Now, confusion was whether a single village can be declared as a scheduled area.
No.
No. A mixture of multiple villages together, cluster of villages together, then itself we can declare as a what scheduled area. So these things are not present in Lakshmikant. But UPSC, the changing pattern, so what level they are expecting. Okay, so there it will fall. So the smallest administrative unit is cluster of villages. The largest administrative unit can be district, not beyond that. Okay, we cannot declare an entire state as a scheduled area. Okay, scheduled area. So scheduled areas are dealt by which schedule? 5th schedule. The chief ministers of the concerned states are required to submit annual reports to the Union Home Ministry on the administration of scheduled areas in the states. Okay, no doubt, state has to submit some kind of reports to the central government. But when it comes to state government, which term will use? It will be governors. Okay, governor. So hence, third one is wrong. Okay, third one is wrong. So what's the answer? First one was correct. Okay, first and two, only two. Okay, only two. Now similarly, scheduled areas will prepare what other aspects. Okay, so scheduled areas where all they are present. So what is the benefit of creating an area as a scheduled area? So an act of parliament will extend to scheduled area or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we make an act of parliament inapplicable to scheduled area?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Governor.
Yes. Who has that power? President or governor?
Governor.
Governor. So a governor will declare that an act of parliament will not apply to scheduled area, or president will declare. So these are points of confusion which will confuse us. We will search it. We will become perfect. So we have discussed that an act of parliament can be declared that it will not extend to scheduled area. But who has the power to declare it? President or governor?
Governor.
Governor. Now it comes to tribal areas. Similarly, in the 6th schedule, the act of parliament will extend or will extend with modifications. Who is going to make those modifications in case of tribal areas?
In case of Assam, Governor of Assam.
Yes, in case of Assam, it is governor of Assam. In case of other states, president. Very confusing. See, these things you just revise, you become perfect. Because in the upcoming year, they may go to this level. Okay, they may go to this level. Very important. So scheduled areas is a very important topic. Okay, very important topic. Next, the provisions of Panchayat Raj, whether they extend to scheduled areas or not. Okay, 73rd and 73rd amendment, as it is, extends to scheduled areas.
No, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
PESA Act, Panchayat Raj extension to Scheduled Areas Act. Okay, Scheduled Areas Act. So you will revise the Panchayat Raj system and what scheduled areas in detail. A very important topic from exam point of view. Okay, UPSC exam point of view. Okay. So this will be the last question. So we can pause today here itself. So consider the following statements. The Supreme Court of India has held in some judgments that the reservation policies made under Article number 16(4) of the Constitution of India would be limited by Article number 335 for the maintenance of efficiency of administration. Okay. Now 335 we have never heard, means we are generally we have not come across 335, not an important article. Okay, not an important article. So this question, the first statement will cause confusion. So based on this statement, you cannot go through the entire Supreme Court judgments, which Supreme Court judgment, what it has said. So somewhere in the newspaper editorial article, someone might have mentioned it. But if you look at the second option, then easily we'll be able to conclude. Article 335 of the Constitution of India defines the term efficiency of administration. Okay, so generally when the term, if they mention that define, something is defined in the Constitution, so generally definitions do not exist in Constitution. Okay, so the famous examples, for example, office of profit. The term office of profit, it nowhere appears in the Constitution. True or false?
False, sir. It appears, sir, but
It appears, but whether the definition of the office of profit term appears? No, there is no definition. Okay, so whether the term judicial review appears in the Constitution? No, the term judicial review does not appear in the Constitution. But whether the Constitution provides for the provision of judicial review? Yes. Which article?
13.
Article number 13. In that fashion, if they mention anything and if they say the definition exists, okay, definition exists, generally that statement will be wrong. So this statement is wrong. If you come to a conclusion that this statement is wrong, obviously automatically you will arrive at the answer. What is the answer? Statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is correct. Okay, statement 1 is correct. So here, even if you are not aware of the first statement also, you are able to come to a conclusion. Means based on this first statement, you need not do any kind of exploration exercise. Okay, but based on this first statement, now you understood that in India, based on some Supreme Court judgments, so reservation policies would be limited by Article 335 for maintenance of efficiency of administration. Okay, means on the reservation policies, there is a limitation set. Why they have set a limitation? To enhance the efficiency in the administration. Okay, administration. Just PYQ driven, you will just retain this content. You are not going to explore anything for more information with respect to this statement. Okay, with this statement. Because here the important point is we have to eliminate this second one. Okay, we have to eliminate the second one. Now, in such cases, in the same question, they have set the question in this fashion. If they give like this, only 1, only 2, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Okay, if they set options like that, so in such case, in such questions, they are not going to set options in that fashion. Okay, so if they are setting such kind of option, then that content should be available in the standard book. Then they can set such kind of options. Here in this case, they cannot set such kind of options. Only 1, only 2, or how many of the above are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3. Okay, none. In that kind of options cannot be set in such questions. Okay, in such questions. So we'll pause here itself. Again, tomorrow we shall resume back.